Well, it is Sunday morning, the 14th of April, 2024, a Sunday morning, and Dottie and I are headed to the VET. And she didn't react at all to that. Dottie, so I know some of you may be disappointed, but Dottie cannot spell.
Crawford Way.
I found a pretty new vet here in Pahrump last year called JAM, J-A-M, Veterinary Services. They're about a mile from here, and they're busy. I mean, I called for an appointment, and it was almost 2 weeks. But I mean, it's pretty cool that they have Sundays. Now, this is not a great idea for these cyclists. I mean, she's going the wrong way. He's on the right side. You don't know what they're going to do. Yeah. If you're on a public street on your e-bike, you need to be following the same rules as everybody else. I mean, there's few exceptions. I mean, if there's no traffic around or anything, I suppose it would be all right to go up that side for a little while, but not while there's traffic. So anyway, we're going to the vet. It's just a normal checkup. For those of you interested, and probably there are some of you that might want to know, the only health issue that Dottie has is a couple of years ago at a checkup, they discovered a heart murmur. And there are multiple classifications of heart murmurs. And so far hers is at the classification where it doesn't require any intervention. There's no treatment for it. There are treatments like medications should it get worse. Now, they said things to watch out for is her getting short of breath and coughing, and none of those things have occurred so far. But what I have done is, you know, I think many of you know that I put her on a ground beef and vegetable diet. I make her food. I've been doing it a couple of years. But I tell you, this past year, I've been overindulging excuse me, Dottie, her in snacks. I mean, Dottie will bake for snacks and is so happy, and so she gained back weight, and you know, I had a good friend of mine, Cheryl, Pup Camper. I'll put her channel link in the description here. She used to work for a vet, and she's like, don't kill the pet you love with snacks. Because being overweight, especially for Dottie, she's got a heart murmur, you don't want to put extra strain on the heart. So I've been very good about restricting snacks for Dottie. So I'm hoping when we weigh in today that she's improved. If she hasn't, I'm gonna have to double down on that. Maybe reduce the portions of the 2 meals she gets a day. But we'll see. And I'd like to know if the heart murmur has changed at all. If it's gotten any worse or better. Or I would love it if it would just disappear. That'd be great. But that's not terribly likely. Dottie, I screwed up on Dottie's birthday. I had this big birthday message and video, and it wasn't really her birthday. I went through the records, and there was an incorrect birth date in there. So Dottie is still 8 and will be 9 in next month. So I'll probably do another video for Dottie's birthday, and people go, didn't she just have a birthday like in December? Or whatever it was. But
turn right on Calvada Boulevard.
I found the original paperwork, and she was, I got the real birth date.
In 1/2 mile, arrive at 2200 East Calvada Boulevard on the right.
So yeah, I'm sure you heard that. That's where this vet is. If you're in Pahrump and want a vet, it's 2200 East Calvada Boulevard. And We have a 10:15 appointment, and we're going to make it there by the hair of our chinny chin chin, Dottie, because it's 10:12. We have 3 minutes to get in there to be on time. And we are 0.2 of a mile away. So it's going to be, we'll probably be a minute late, I'm going to guess. Now it's 1/10 of a mile, so it should be right up here. I think I recognize where we pull in here. Jam Veterinary Services. We're going to follow this person in. They probably have an appointment.
Arriving at 2200 East Colvada Boulevard. On the right.
And we are here, Dottie. All right, what do you think, Dottie? You ready to go and see the vet? You go and see the vet? She doesn't really react to that word. She doesn't, not much shakes Dottie up. She'll be fine I'll see if I'll film a little of her getting treated. She's really, really calm and good. Well, I didn't do any filming in the vet because Dottie didn't do too well. She was, some scent or something got her extremely nervous. And so the results are she's fine. The murmur is still what she called the class 2 heart murmur. So she's fine. She had her glands expelled, and I won't describe exactly what that is, but she's going to be more comfortable. And it turns out she did not need the rabies vaccine until October, so we didn't do that. And so they did a general examination, checked on the heart murmur, did the glands, and charged me $20. I was stunned. So we're going to head back now. We're going to go to Walmart and pick up a couple of things before we go home. But Dottie's doing fine. Okay, so the weight. I thought she'd lost weight. She has gained 0.4 pounds. She's 30.4, and she needs to be like 27. And so I've cut back. So I think what's happened is that I think before I cut back on the snacks, I think she probably gained a couple of pounds, and we lost that back. We're back to where we were last year. She needs to lose at least 3 pounds. So we're going to have to cut back the amount of each serving. So we'll see how we do with that. Anyway, we're on our way to Wally Mart. All right, so we are heading to Walmart. It's one way here. Well, it's probably not going to take you into Walmart with me. That seems like that would be kind of boring. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to sort of go back a back way to see what my interesting things off the beaten path there are in Pahrump here, to go sort of the back way into Walmart. A friend in town wanted to see where the famous brothels are, and I took him out there, but I didn't do a video. I did a video, it's on that showing it. I just don't think that's the most appropriate thing for my channel, so I didn't video anything. I don't know if my feeling about it is these brothels are regulated, they're legal here in Nye County, and I think that's a good thing because I think it at least protects the people involved in it, the women involved in that practice. They're protected medically, they're in a protected environment, and everybody's safe and hopefully well cared for and well compensated. There's a place right there. It looked like a coffee shop that was pretty busy called Our Place. Might want to check that out sometime. So I don't know whether we're still, I think we're still on Calvada Road and we're coming up on Pahrump Valley Road. Lots of little businesses around in here. A lot of medical stuff and insurance, physical therapy, labs, dermatology. So there's a lot of small medical offices in this area I'm seeing. There's a car wash over there I've never seen before. Kind of interesting looking older buildings here. Shenanigans, slot starts, it looks like a bar. Golf cart, the place that sells golf carts. Fraser Furniture. And up here, this neighborhood, so this is just like an ordinary neighborhood in Pahrump. You know, nice little houses. And last year, this is where I saw a herd of horses. I thought, what the heck is going on? I looked down a side street, and there were a bunch of horses standing in a driveway. They were wild horses off BLM land, and they were just hanging out in this neighborhood. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled in case I run into them again. That was pretty wild. It's one thing to see the occasional donkey, but when you see a herd of, you know, real robust looking horses, to me that's pretty exciting. So I'm watching my my map here of my Garmin map, and I see up here we're going to pass it. Looks like it's all green, so I think it's some kind of park, and it looks pretty big. And while I'm looking over there, yeah, it's some kind of big park. So I don't know if it doesn't say on the map what the name of it is, and part of it borders up against this road up here. Hopefully we might see a sign. This looks like a school on the left here, maybe high school. We'll see. That'll have a sign, that's for sure. And I see the park up here. Pahrump Valley High School. And I do not see a sign for this park, but it's big green expanse, that's for sure. So I can't say for sure if it's a park, but it's a big green expanse that no trespassing. So it's not a park. So it's private property and it says no trespassing. So I don't know what the deal is with that property. Interesting. So I'm sorry to say, no herds of horses in sight out here. So I think we'll make a right here because I think that's the right direction for where we want to go. I don't know that I mentioned, I sort of wish I did a video on it. But Marlo, my friend Marlo from Canada, was here for a couple of days, and he said, I want to take you out to dinner. I said, okay. And I gave him all the options of the restaurants I knew, and I mentioned there's a steakhouse right in the casino, Pahrump Nugget, right next to us, but it's pretty expensive. It's like at least $50 per person. He said, no, I want to do that. I love steak. I said, okay. I warned you. And he didn't bat an eye, and we went to the steakhouse in the casino. And, you know, I've been, in particular, in my business life, I've been to really high-end steakhouses where, in New York City, in Dallas, in Boston, I've been to my share of very expensive steakhouses. And this was a steakhouse that, you know, I didn't expect to be in that range of quality at all. However, both of us made this statement, this pretty bold statement. We both had the New York strip steak, and we both said it's the best steak we've ever eaten. That's a bold statement from both of us, and I'm going to stand by it. It was full of flavor and tender. It was perfect. So I don't know how they did it. I'm sure it's a real super premium cut of beef. It's got to be, and expertly cooked. I was just blown away by it. And I think for two of us, you know, I think we had one small appetizer and two steaks and I think water, you know, so minimal ordering, and it was just over $100 plus obviously a decent tip. But boy, that's in the Pahrump Nugget in Pahrump. And you know, I had read someplace about it. It's rated as one of the top steakhouses in Nevada. And that's really saying something, because they got some serious steakhouses in Las Vegas. I mean, real serious, high end, super expensive. So up here is this this ice cream place. You can see Seymour's Ice Cream. I've been there a few times. It's an iconic place in Pahrump. It's look at the beautiful backdrop, the mountains behind it. Isn't that great? But really good ice cream, really good shakes. So I highly recommend that place. So we are headed back towards home, back towards 160. We'll make a left on 160 and go down to where Walmart is. I just need a couple of food-related things, like a loaf of bread, and I think there's something else on my list. I can't think of what. But the main reason is my old pool floaty from last year has a leak in it, and you know, I could try to glue it or patch it, and it's like, you know, there's like 10, 15 bucks, and any attempt with like super glue or something will probably fail. So I'm just gonna go I'll probably pick up a couple of them. It's nice when it's hot to go to the pool and have a comfortable thing you can lay on in the pool and relax. So I'm gonna pick up one of those here at Walmart. And Dottie's still with me, so we'll it's only 61 degrees outside, so we'll crack the windows and move as quickly as possible. Oh, we just passed a Tractor Supply. There's a Tractor Supply here. The old YouTuber that I met here, and she doesn't have her YouTube channel anymore. Unfortunately, I'm not going to say who it was, but it's a YouTuber who was just getting stalked horribly by someone, and she had to just stop doing her channel, which is horrible because I loved her channel. But she was here at Pahrump a couple of years ago, and she was at the Tractor Supply place, and I'm pretty sure she was getting her propane tank, I think a 30-pounder, refilled, and it slipped out of her hand and it landed on her foot and broke it, and she was miserable for months. I felt so bad for her. And I know I have one viewer that knows her, but you know, I'm not going to say who it was. I'm going to protect her privacy. So here we are back up at 160, and if I kept going straight through this intersection here, Dottie and I would be home. And look up on the right there, to the right of the flag. That peak up there is Mount Charleston. It's such an impressive mountain range right behind Pahrump. You know, I've been coming here. This is my third winter in Pahrump, and I'm so impressed with the scenery and how beautiful it is here. Um, there's a lot of conveniences. Is there a lot of stuff to do right in Pahrump? No, no, and not unless you're a local and you're in, you have that kind of knowledge. As a tourist, if you're not into gambling, there's the casinos. There's no movie theater. There's really no major tourist attractions. You got to find stuff to do. You got to be pretty creative or more knowledgeable than I am. But I ran into a local, and she said, her friends give her a hard time. Why do you live in Pahrump? There's nothing to do there. And she said, exactly. That's why I love it here so much. So she likes it that there's not much going on here. But, as you can see, you go by here and you see my tour videos. Just about anything you could want is available here in this little half-mile to mile strip. And it's convenient as heck. It really is. And I'm real grateful to call Pahrump my home, my home base, and what I call both practically and legally my residence and my home. And we have arrived at Wally Mart, haven't we, Dottie? Dottie's thinking, are you gonna buy me treats? No, Dottie, we have to lose 3 pounds. And guess what? I know you guys have probably seen, those of you that have been with me around say, hey, Rob, you lost some weight. I really have. I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost about 40 pounds. But my doctor says, Rob, we got to take off another 30. Like, damn. But, I'm at an age where weight is a big deal. It's a big deal for, I've got type 2 diabetes. I don't think I've ever said that on the channel before, but I'll say it. And I have, my right hip has, in the hip joint, has, I'm telling you, almost no cartilage left. And the only thing that's keeping me from having to have a hip replacement is this chiropractor at MedSpine here in Pahrump that he's been treating me for a year, over a year now, and it's kept me from having to do that. And the other thing that's helped is losing that weight, because guess what? If you have too much weight, too much pressure on those joints, it accelerates it. And the lack of cartilage is the result of arthritis in that hip. And it's, I really am trying to focus on my health, because I'm experiencing so much joy really since I got into my 60s. And I'm 64 now. I'll be 65 next February. I want this to continue, and the only thing that can ruin it is some kind of deterioration in my health. So I'm pretty serious about my health. So I'm taking, you guys have probably heard about these medications. They're called GLP-1 medications. They're injections once a week for diabetes, and it has the added benefit of not only lowering your glucose levels. My last glucose check was like 6.2, which is just a hair over normal. It's really, for someone that's diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, that's good. The problem is I don't have insurance that'll cover that, so I've had to go through a company called Mochi that uses a compounding pharmacy to get a generic version of the drug Mounjaro. Mounjaro, should I buy that out of pocket? That's $1,000 a month. But with Mochi, it's $400 a month. And I haven't been able to afford it every single month, obviously. But
$1,000.
I just am going to struggle with that until I get on Medicare next year, and I'm pretty sure Medicare will pay for that drug, and I won't have to worry about this big expense every month. But it's been an invaluable thing, that drug, for me, to keep my blood sugar down and my appetite down and my weight down. It's kind of a miracle, really. And a lot of people have gastrointestinal side effects, and I don't have any side effects. I am one lucky guy. I don't have those side effects. And there's also evidence coming up that it has very positive effects on the cardiovascular system. So these things are pretty amazing. So I'm going to go into Walmart now and buy the things, but I'm going to sign off the video now. And I hope the sound's okay, because I didn't bring in any of my fancy microphones this time. I'm counting on the phone to do its job for me. Have a great day. Thank you. Thanks for watching.